If Iran had a nuclear weapon, it would be a dangerous threat to world peace. So I've told people that if you're interested in avoiding World War III, it seems like you ought to be interested in preventing them from having the knowledge necessary to make a nuclear weapon.
Our country and the entire international community cannot stand by as a terror-supporting state fulfills its most aggressive ambitions. The Iranian regime needs to know that if it stays on its present course, the international community is prepared to impose serious consequences.
Hi, this is Josh Marshall from TPM Media. It's Wednesday, December 5th, 2007. That was President Bush and Vice President Cheney only about 6 weeks ago, rattling their sabers, getting everybody ready for the next war against Iran because of the nuclear weapon they were fast on their way to building. Now, of course, we know, because of that new national intelligence estimate that was released just 2 days ago, the Iranians apparently shut down their nuclear program back in 2003. Now, what's even more troubling is that President Bush was apparently first told about the new intelligence suggesting that the Iranians had shut down their nuclear program. He was first told about that in July and August, months before those statements you just saw. Now, just yesterday, President Bush went before the White House press corps and tried to explain exactly how it is that he'd found out about this in August, but didn't get around to mentioning any of it to the American people, or maybe de-escalating some of his rhetoric until just the beginning of this week. Take a look.
I was made aware of the NIE last week. In August, I think it was Mike McConnell came in and said, "We have some new information." He didn't tell me what the information was. He did tell me it was going to take a while to analyze. And it wasn't until last week that I was briefed on the NIE that is now public.
Are you saying at no point while the rhetoric was escalating, as World War III was making it into conversation, at no point nobody from your intelligence team or your administration was saying, maybe you want to back it down a little bit?
No, nobody ever told me that.
So apparently President Bush's spy chief told him there was some new information back in August, but it didn't occur to the president to ask what the new information was, so he didn't really know about it until last week. And then just the day before that, Stephen Hadley, the president's national security advisor, went before the White House press corps to try to explain, get to the bottom of, sort out any kind of confusion about just who knew what when. It wasn't pretty. Take a look.
Our intelligence community has told us, effective today, that their assessment is somewhat different than it was before.
So there had to be more than an inkling before today that this information, this intelligence, that the Iranians had an ongoing nuclear weapons program was incorrect. And so why then was the president allowed or advised to go ahead ratcheting up the rhetoric instead of toning it down?
When the president was told that we had some additional information, he was basically told, stand down, needs to be evaluated, we'll come to you and tell you what we think it means.
You said the president was told to stand down on that.
No, I said just the opposite. I said the president was told we have some information, that we have some new information, not to stand down. You said we have some new information, give us some time to analyze it, and we will come to you and tell you what we think it means.
Was he given that advice before or after the World War III comments?
I'll have to look. For my mind, it doesn't make any difference. If they were working on this information before that quote in October, again, in terms of the point the president was making, he would have made that comment before the intelligence community got this information. He would have made that, I believe, that comment after. They did not tell the president to stand down and stop talking about Iran's nuclear program. They told him just the opposite. Mr. President, we have new information. Or let me put it this way, not just the opposite. Let me be precise. He was not told to stop talking about Iran's nuclear weapons program. He was not told to change what he says about it. What he was told was, we have new information. It is interesting. Peter.
When was the first time the president had given the inkling of something? I'm not clear on this. Was it months ago when the first information started to become available to intelligence agencies?
You ought to go back to the intelligence committee. We will get you an answer on that. There's two questions. One, when did they first get the information? You ought to ask that to them. Two, when was the president notified that there was new information available? We'll try and get you a precise answer. As I say, it was, in my recollection, is in the last few months. Whether this is October, August, September, we'll try and get you an answer. All we can do is try and I think all the intelligence community can do, is try and get the best information they can. And when they get that additional information, if it changes their assessment, to come out and so inform people.